folks. Well, Illustrious is going to the scrapyard today. Our last real aircraft carrier. It doesn't really add up, does it? You've got Hermes was scrapped when the Harriers were sold to the Americans, and we even sold the license to build them, so we couldn't even continue to build our own. We've spent millions and millions and millions on 2 brand new aircraft carriers, but we've got no aircraft. We've got Nimrod was scrapped. Do you remember they spent millions of pounds refitting all the Nimrods? They were just about ready to go, and then he scrapped them. Do you remember the swing shovels they used to break them up? And the photographs, I think it was in the Sun at the time, not that I read the Sun. It adds up, but it doesn't add up, because we've got these ships, and we've got British troops under direct command of the EU in various places around the Middle East. And then you've got all this talk about Brexit and leaving the EU. But you've got further and further military integration. So what I think is happening is the brand of the British Army, Navy and Air Force. If you've noticed on the fake news sites like the BBC, they talk about defence forces now, not a sovereign army or a sovereign navy. They're talking about defence forces, and what they've done is they've destroyed the brand. They've used people like Sergeant Blackman, who, good news, is hopefully be out on bail, but he should never have been in jail in the first place. But he's been used to help destroy the brand. And what's going to happen, almost certainly, is that the Europeans, our what's left of our forces, will be sucked into an EU-wide army, Navy and Air Force, which is already happened virtually. Once that happens, they'll need an EU treasury to pay for it. The problem with that is, once you've got involved in that kind of financial institution, you no longer have control of your armed forces budgets. Some bureaucrat somewhere will be in control of it, and you cease to be a sovereign nation because somebody else is in control of your armed forces. Now, I just listened to Admiral Jock something or another. He used to be a Sea Lord. He was the first commander of Illustrious, and he sat there on the radio telling everybody that we've got an extremely powerful navy now. Well, I'm not exactly convinced about that. We've got 1.5 aircraft carriers, but we've got no escort ships. So where are they going to come from? So they're probably going to come from our allies, our allies in the European Defence Force, right? So we've got these massive platforms with no aircraft on. We've got no aircraft carrier. We can feed engineering skills from one to the other. So where are they going to get all these skilled engineers and that's needed to keep the ship running? You've just got this huge dumbing down. You've got these brand new Type 45 frigates, I think they're frigates, whose engines, whose intercoolers are a pile of crap. and every time they go to warm water, they break down. In fact, one left Plymouth the other day, on the Monday, and got towed into back into Plymouth on Wednesday, broken down. This is a brand new ship, and when Rolls-Royce built the engines, and when they were accused of doing a crap job, they just turned around and said the warm water temperatures weren't specified in the spec for the engines. So the MOD has failed again. I mean, they're quite good at that. So something's not adding up, is it? It's the Brexit is going to be. It's not even going to be a soft Brexit if one happens at all. And I'm still of the mind that we'll leave on paper, but we won't actually leave. And if we're a part of a European defence force, then we definitely won't leave, because we won't have any choice, because the Europeans will just say, well, you can't leave, because we'll just invade you. Basically, we'll just be even more of a vassal state to a communitarian government than we are already. So I think when you get people like that ex-Sea Lord who are going around telling people that we've got an extremely powerful navy. We've got 18 ships now. 18. We had more than that sunk in Scapa Flow at the beginning of the First World War. I mean, and we could still fight a war. So I think it's about time that everybody, just started waking up to what's really going on, and just ask yourselves: the armed forces have been destroyed. They're arguing about Brexit. It just all points to us not being allowed to be masters of our own destiny. The Europeans said they didn't want us to leave, and there's a good reason for that. If we leave the European Union, all the other countries have got to pay up what we pay in, and we're the third biggest contributor. So it's in the European community's interest to scupper any kind of Brexit. But the saddest thing about it is we won't be able to defend ourselves. And I think that's a mistake. The enemy isn't Putin. The enemy is Europe. Anyway, TTFN.